Baltimore General, an episodic medical drama. Written by Blue Bolton. Episode 1, Transfer of Care, Chapter 13. The hospital's rhythm shifted as day bled into night. Emilia's eyelids drooped as Jordan's chart blurred before her, medical terminology swimming across the screen. Her shoulders ached from the rigid hospital chair. Her white coat wrinkled from 36 continuous hours at Baltimore General. Jordan's bed remained empty, his body still in recovery, while his future hung by threads growing thinner by the hour. The CT scan images still burned in her mind, the swollen brain tissue pressing dangerously against his skull, the shadow of herniation beginning to form. Down in surgery, vascular surgeons battled to salvage what remained of his legs, cutting away blackened tissue while monitors beeped a countdown of his declining vitals. Emilia snapped the chart closed and pushed to her feet. Her back cracked as she stretched. The night shift flooded the halls around her, fresh faces replacing exhausted ones. She'd already transferred most of her patients, but Jordan's file remained clutched in her hands, her fingers unwilling to release it. Overhead, the fluorescents dimmed to their evening setting, casting long shadows between islands of light. The hospital's daytime bustle faded to a midnight hush, punctuated by the soft squeak of rubber soles on linoleum. The resident workroom buzzed with the controlled chaos of shift change. Snippets of conversation floated through the doorway as she approached. Mr. Dawson in 2004 needs his potassium checked at midnight. Watch the lady in 318. She likes to pull out her IV when no one's looking. The guy in 412 is waiting on cardiology consult. They promised to come by before 9. Emilia paused at the threshold, scanning the crowded space. Dr. Winters gestured animatedly to the night attending in one corner. Residents hunched over keyboards, fingers flying as they documented their final notes. And there in the far corner, Dr. Alex Reyes sat alone, his face bathed in the blue glow of his monitor. The clock on the wall read 8:15 p.m. Reyes's shoulders slumped with the same fatigue she felt in her own bones. His shift had started with hers, hours ago, yet here he remained. She wove between workstations until she reached him. Dr. Reyes. He blinked up at her, pupils contracting as they adjusted from screen to face. Dr. Carter. Surprise flickered across his features. I thought you'd be home by now. I could say the same to you. She nodded toward the empty chair beside him. Mind if I join you? Please. He shifted his belongings, clearing a space. The chair creaked under her weight as every muscle in her body seemed to sigh at once. I'm still following Jordan's case. Can't seem to walk away from it. Alex's fingers paused over the keyboard. I heard he's post-op. Vascular team couldn't save much below the knee. They're talking about amputation if he stabilizes enough to survive it. The words hung between them, heavy with unspoken odds. But that's a big if. His neurological status is... Words failed where medicine had. I'm sorry. Alex's voice dropped to a near whisper before he turned back to his documentation, fingers tapping out a precise rhythm. She watched his hands move across the keyboard, each note formatted with military precision despite the late hour. No shortcuts, no abbreviations, every entry crafted with careful attention. You're not on the schedule for tonight, she observed. Picking up extra hours. His eyes never left the screen. That's dedication or punishment. Her lips curved slightly. Which is it? The corner of his mouth twitched. Depends who you ask. I'm asking you. Alex's fingers hovered, suspended above the keys. He turned, meeting her gaze directly. I need the hours, he said simply. Financial reasons? Partly. The screen went dark as he closed the chart. But also experience. I want to be the best surgeon I can be. From what I've seen, you're already one of the strongest residents in the program. Alex shook his head. Not strong enough. Not yet. Something in his voice caught her attention, a tightness, an urgency that vibrated beneath the words. It was the sound of someone running from something while simultaneously chasing something else. You know, she said carefully, there's a difference between dedication and self-destruction. Trust me, I've walked that line. I know my limits. The answer came too quickly, too smooth. Do you? Emilia leaned back, the chair squeaking beneath her. Because I'm looking at someone who's been here for at least 12 hours and is staying for another 12. That's pushing any reasonable definition of limits. Alex's eyes darted around the room before settling back on her face. His expression softened slightly. I appreciate the concern, Dr. Carter, but I'm fine. Emilia, she corrected. We're off the clock, at least I am. You should be too. His smile flashed briefly, transforming his serious face. Alex, then. So, Alex, she continued, why the extra hours? Really? Silence stretched between them as he weighed his answer. When he spoke, his voice dropped to a murmur meant for her ears alone. I don't have room for mistakes. The words hit her sternum and sank to her stomach. How many times had that exact mantra echoed in her own mind? How many nights had she hunched over charts until her vision blurred, ordered tests others deemed unnecessary, second-guessed every decision, all because she couldn't afford to be wrong? What does that mean? She asked, though the answer already resonated in her bones. Alex pivoted his chair, angling away from potential listeners. It means exactly what it sounds like. Some people can make mistakes and recover. Learn from them, move on. His shoulder lifted in a half shrug. I can't. Because? Because the stakes are higher for me. His gaze held hers, unwavering. One slip-up, one complaint, one bad outcome where someone decides I'm to blame and everything I've worked for disappears. Emilia nodded slowly. I understand that feeling. Do you? Curiosity, not challenge, colored his question. More than you might think. Grace Hanley's face flashed in her mind pale, accusing followed by newspaper headlines and settlement figures. The sickening speed of a career's collapse. We all have our reasons for being careful. Careful. Alex's mouth twisted around the word. That's one way to put it. A nurse materialized at their workstation, her scrubs rustling as she leaned in. Dr. Reyes, your patient in 315 is spiking a fever, 102.3 inches. Alex sprang to his feet. Start a septic workup. I'll be right there. The nurse nodded and vanished. Alex turned back to Emilia. Duty calls. Go, she said. We can continue this another time. He hesitated, his weight shifting between feet. Dr. Carter Emilia, can I ask you something? Of course. Why did you really come to Baltimore? The question landed like an unexpected diagnosis. That's complicated. Most things worth talking about are... His smile returned briefly. Another time, then. Emilia watched him stride away, the parallels between them suddenly stark. Both carrying secrets beneath their white coats, both crushed beneath the weight of perfection, both knowing that a single misstep could bring everything crashing down.